Side note, sorry if I seem like angry or just like very intense in this video. I just have like a lot of feelings and I'm very passionate about it, and I think I breathed like twice ever during the whole thing. So yeah, quick explanation. During the entire show, I was playing a really fun game called Where's Jonah Platt? Hey friends, what's up? It's me, Catherine. Welcome back to my channel and happy Theater Thursday. Today, we're going to be discussing NBC's Jesus Christ Superstar Live. If you guys didn't know, NBC just had a concert of Jesus Christ Superstar on Easter. Question of the day, what did you think about JC Superstar Live? I want to know what you thought. Did you like it? Was it not for you? What parts did you love? What parts do you think maybe need some help? Let me know in the comments down below. So first up, John Legend as Jesus. I loved his vocals. I thought they were so unique and so beautiful. I don't listen to a ton of pop music in general, and it's something that I've been trying to get more into. So I think this is the most of John Legend's voice that I've ever heard, and oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. Like, I'm going to go download a ton of his albums right now because beautiful. His choices were really interesting. I think he really made the music his own. He doesn't sound like any other Jesus we've had, and I really liked that. I thought it was unique, and it was also a really nice contrast compared to every other character who kind of had a hard rock and roll vibe to it, which is what you usually have for Jesus, but going within the context of who Jesus is as a character and where he fits into the story and the narrative of the show, I think that his voice fit really well and worked well as a choice. I will always prefer underacting to overacting, and I really liked his understated choices, and I really liked it. I think it really worked. Sara Bareilles was perfection. I actually called it months ago. That's the one person I got right from my Dreamcast. She was my #1 pick for Mary Magdalene, and I am so happy she did it, and I think she did a beautiful job, not only with the song, but with the role in total. She had kind of like a natural bohemian, almost a little bit tomboyish vibe to her that I really, really liked. A lot of the Mary Magdalenes that I've seen in the past have been very, very like feminine and girly, and I loved that Sara was just like kind of one of the guys. Brandon Victor Dixon is my king. I loved his interpretation, his voice, his energy, his acting. I thought he was probably my favorite of the principals. Judas is one of those roles that has always been like close to my heart. Like, if I was a guy with a powerhouse rock and roll voice, I would love to play Judas. I'm just really happy with what he did with it. I think he did a great job. I will say Norm Lewis stole the show. He was actually on my original Dreamcast list. He was tied with Brian Stokes Mitchell, who I mentioned in the video, and then while I was editing, I'm like, I'll just mention one of them because this video is getting too long, and I omitted Norm. I am a fool! He was perfect. He was everything that I've ever wanted in a Caiaphas. It's a very weird moment when you're watching Jesus Christ Superstar and you're rooting for Caiaphas. Oops. So overall, if you haven't guessed it yet, I loved Jesus Christ Superstar Live. I think it's the best live musical that they've done so far, and across the board, critically speaking, that's kind of what everyone's saying too. However, a lot of people can't really tell why they liked it so much, but here are the things that I was able to articulate on why I think it worked so well, and the pieces of advice that I think all future live musical events should take from JC Superstar Live. The biggest thing that worked for me is that they had one set. They presented a musical live. They didn't try to do a live movie musical, which is what every other event has tried to do. They've tried to do all of these intricate set changes and camera wipes and just crazy camera work in general. Basically, what they've been doing in the past is a live movie musical. JC Superstar Live had a bunch of different camera angles, but it was on one set. In that same vein, the live audience was so helpful. I know that they've had live audiences. It's problematic because you had different audiences in different sets, and then you had some like watching a live stream of it. It was complicated. I think having one audience, one set was the best thing that JC Superstar could have done, and I think that's what all future musical events should do. Another reason JC Superstar worked so well is because it's the first live rock musical we've gotten, or at least like contemporary musical. If you look at all of the other live musical events we've had, they've really been like classic shows, with the exception of Hairspray and Christmas Story, which are technically contemporary, but they're period pieces and they sound like the time that they take place in. Of course, Jesus Christ Superstar takes place like in biblical times, but they did a lot with it to modernize it and to update it, with the use of like the live camera crews and the slightly modern dress. The way that they designed it and performed it, you couldn't really tell what era it was supposed to take place in. Which, I have a question. Is that how all productions of JC Superstar are done? Because I feel like that's how everyone does it nowadays. When I did it, that's exactly how we did it. We had the live camera crews during the crucifixion with the microphones. I remember seeing it on tour when I was really, really little, and it was like full biblical. I don't know, I feel like no one does that anymore. Hit me up in the comments if you did it full biblical, or if you've seen it full biblical, or if you just do it modern. I think something that really serviced the show is the fact that it is comparatively unknown to the non-musical theater community. Of course, it's Andrew Lloyd Webber. Of course, it's widely, widely popular and famous, but comparatively to the other live musical events we've had, non-musical theater people probably didn't know this show. If you look at the other shows that they've had, like Sound of Music, I'd venture to say that just about everyone has seen the Julie Andrews movie version. Or like Peter Pan, like everyone has seen Disney's Peter Pan, or maybe just Pan, or Hook, or even the Cathy Rigby VHS version. Like, everyone is familiar with the Neverland story. With Jesus Christ Superstar, I would venture to say that most people know the source material, but they don't know the show, they don't know the music, they don't know the ways that these characters are going to be portrayed, and they don't know which characters are going to be in it. It's very different, and I think that's what was so helpful for the show. So let's talk about this in concert aspect. If you guys didn't see, Jesus Christ Superstar was listed as in concert. That's how it was marketed. Like, what? How was it in concert? A, it's a sung through show, and they sung everything. They did the whole show. I'm trying to figure out why they said in concert. The only thing I can think of is the fact that they didn't have multiple sets, so it was just one set, and that's why they're like, oh, it's in concert. But in reality, I think they were testing out the one set concept, and they were seeing how the audience reacted to it and if we would go with it now that it's not super elaborate. That's the only thing I can think of. Hit me up if there's something that I'm forgetting or not thinking of, because that's the only way I can explain that marketing. Jesus Christ Superstar is by far my favorite. I loved it. I really, really enjoyed it, and I really hope that more musical events are like this one. Again, I want to hear what you have to say about Jesus Christ Superstar Live. Hit me up in the comments down below. I always check them out. I hope you guys are having a great day. I love you so, so much. Break a leg, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!